Well, here we are, another Friday Eve's interview, and we settle down to go through our matters arising on the films. If you just clicked on this to see the film, then just jump forward 20 minutes or so, or whatever it might say up there, might not, and that will get you started on the film. Meanwhile, we're looking at our matters arising, and the first film that we're looking at the comments on is the Padstow ferry. Paul and I visited when we were down there on holiday. Have a look at the old ferry. Trev was first to comment on that, and he said he enjoyed the film yesterday morning. It brought about such an air of peace and relaxation. Yeah, it's good. It says finding the right place out in nature is what it can bring for you. Yes, I'm not really on the tracks yet, am I? We'll get there, don't worry. There are many such places like that in part of the Peak District. I'm going to in about 10 days' time. Ah, Trev's deserting us for a week or so, going backpacking in the Peak District. I think he's got it wrong really, because unless he went this last week, because we've got a heat wave coming up again next week. Apparently, so they tell us. Dave from Cornwall says, "You're a wise man, Ron, designating Pauline as purser. Then no financial comebacks." Yes, Pauline was paying for the ferry fare, and David reckons that's a good move. It looked like a very scenic voyage over to Rock, though that ferry does look like a bit of a landing craft. Yes, you can practice your tactics on that one. Yeah, brilliant, well done. David, all the way from sunny Spain. As ever, he says, a real mix of comments from the family. The Parkinsons Walks virtual family, come and join us. On the question of the bridge arches, this is going back to South Cerney now, and we were looking at some very large structured bridges, but they had lots of holes in them everywhere, which I think we've posed the question before, and until we get an engineer on, we're not going to get a solid answer, but we can guess at it and probably get quite close. The only thing I can think of, says David, is savings on materials and perhaps weight, and I think probably both, to be honest. Yeah. David goes on to say, "Have you ever tried Rick Steen's fish and chips?" No, but we're thinking of mortgaging the house to go and try them. And then Andrew Merriman. "I believe David is absolutely correct about the holes in the arches." Well done, professional backup there. "If the ground was unstable or the bedrock was not easily located, this type of construction was used, providing there was no compromise on axle loading." Ah, yeah. Let's see, spread the weight. And we're doing more on Cerney here than we are on anything else. It says, "You're quite right about the 9-arch bridge at Sudley Wick. It was sprayed with concrete." It looks like it's brand new brickwork. It looks like it's been rebuilt, but when you get up close, you see what Sean's referring to here. He said the bridge at Sudley Wick was sprayed with concrete and then a stencil applied to form the brick shape and coloured red. Now, how did they do that, I wonder? Did they paint the whole thing red and then touch in the gaps between the bricks? Or did they do it to grey and then just red on top? Interesting, interesting. Rodney, "I had to do a quick replay of the ferry trip because I thought you'd taken a part-time job as a ferry collector. My mistake." Lionel and Mary Travels says, "Good morning." Well, at 11:57 it is still morning, well, technically, yes. "You clearly have the good lady trained. Obeying your directions and joining in the conversation. Would you mind telling me how you do it?" Yes, well, as I said to Lionel, I think it's the other way about actually. I think Pauline's a natural at doing this, and I'm the guy that she's trying to train. Making progress. Pete Payne, That was wonderful, he says. Looks like a lovely day too. A warm, early spring day is hard to beat. Yep. Then Kate goes on to say, was that the same ferryman who told you about Luxillian Valley? Was that the same ferryman that told you about Luxillian Valley? What a memory. What a memory you've got. That goes way back to another one of my films, which will be coming up somewhere along the line, no doubt, in which David put us onto a lovely valley, Luxillian Valley. We did a film on that, a lovely viaduct, and all sorts of leats and goodness knows machinery. Wonderful, wonderful, yeah it was. Pete, well remembered you. He's been working on my recently acquired 1932 Sunbeam Model 9 500. It's on original unrestored condition, and that's how it will stay. Unfortunately, Pete's mum passed away, gone back a while, and she'd bought this bike for him, and so he's named it after her. Well done, Florrie. Lovely. Jim Nichols. Hi Jim, all the way from New Zealand. Oh Jim. Lovely spot for a breaker on. Yep. He said how lucky we are these days to be able to play a 10-year-old video and be transported back in time. Yeah. I remember thinking that when I was filming it, that one day all I would have would be the films, not being able to get down there anymore, and that's precisely where we're at. Yeah, never mind. Abandoned railways are on. The very enjoyable matters arising once again. You mentioned the excellent Canal Boat Diaries. Yeah, a series that I've latched onto. And I mentioned it the last video, and it seems quite a few of us also watch it, which is quite amazing really. What about Shed and Buried? Is that another one that we're all locked onto? Let us know in the comments. Malcolm, between a rock and a sandy place. Yes, look that way. I can almost feel the breeze and smell the sea air. Oh, well done. Marilyn, what's our Marilyn been up to then? All the way up there in Cheshire. Good afternoon, she says. What a sweltering week we're having. Got another one coming next week, Marilyn, I'm afraid to say. There you go. I only went out once to the Parkinsons group, she said, and 50 people still turned up to exercise and chat. Good Lord, you've got a very strong Parkinsons group out there. Wow. I hope you're surviving the heat, she says. Even Maisie is asleep in front of the fan. Maisie the cat. She knows where she's best off. Charles, all the way from New Jersey, US of A. While the waltzes and the sound of water were quite soothing, I thought for sure that at 27:22, Pauline and yourself were reenacting the landings at Golden Sword beaches at Normandy, D-Day. Yeah, it even appeared to include charging down the ramp and negotiating the hedgerows as you moved inland. You've got a vivid imagination, Charles. Ah dear, yes. As I said to Charles, Pauline used to be very quick once one time we were walking. Had a job to keep up with the woman. Michael, all the way from sunny Poland. Is it sunny out your way, Michael? Out there walking Max the dog. It's lovely to be able to listen to all the wonderful words from the Parkinson family around the world. Yep. Just before you got the ferry, there was a shot of Pauline from the back with her hands behind her. I thought we were about to see Padstow's version of The Little Mermaid, but Pauline didn't sit on the rock. Disappointing, very disappointing. Oh, Somerset man walking. Lovely hearing all the comments from the Parkinson Walks family. Nice to see the head gardener enjoying a well-earned pint in a beautiful part of the world. I was, however, a bit worried as you paid the ferryman before he got you to the other side. Oh dear. Right, the film. This was the Midland South Western Junction Railway starting at Withington, up in the Cotswolds. Ah dear. Start off with Andrew, young Andrew Merriman. He says, I'm glad the cheese and pickle sandwiches have made a return. I don't think I could face lettuce again. I hope the head gardener has managed to sort out the problem. You show, yes. Yes, well, let's have a quick wander around the garden now and see what we can see. As you can see, she's put it together quite well. They're just starting to tumble over the pots, so hopefully they'll do their thing sooner or later. Good-o. David from Spain. Morning, Ron. He said it was lovely to sense the coolness of this war. Yes, you deserved your break and cheese and pickle. The outro was just bliss, sat in front of the fire. Yeah, you don't want a fire these days. As we saw the pheasant at 12:21, I noticed a stone plaque gradually sinking down into the river in the background. Roger Holloway, Teddington, 359 it seemed to say. I had a look but couldn't come up with anything that might fit. Right, no. The first time this went out, there were all sorts of comments on Roger Holloway, a philanthropic gentleman I believe. I don't know whether anybody's going to contribute that on this one, but if not, guys, we're all hunting back to the previous version. Good. Right. Now David says, from what I've seen of the weather report, it's the same all over Europe. Yeah, we didn't used to share the weather with Europe. It was one thing and we were something else, but these days it looks like we're all joining together. They said our weather report indicates that we're heading off into the 40 degrees this week. We're not quite that bad. We're heading for the 35s, but anything over 25 is too much for me, I have to say. He said I've cleaned out the aircon, but I've yet to switch it on. Still doing okay with the fans. I must be related to James. Hi James, yes, we're a few of us trying to get in touch with James, make sure he's alright. But yes, we miss James and his idiosyncrasies, I suppose you could call them, such as he only used to switch his aircon on once a year to make sure it was working, and that was it. Oh, we miss you James, we do. Right. Jem says, I grew up in Withington and spent over 30 years there and go back regularly. Ah. The bridge that you walked over at the start, the one near the station, I know the one. In the 1970s my grandparents found an apple tree growing underneath that bridge and dug it up. They planted it in their garden and it's still there today. Wow. That's wonderful, isn't it? Right, now, here we go. West Country Wanderings, our Paul. Yes, he said, I remember the Lost Railway exploring the North Cotswolds. I remember thinking I should go to Withington. Still not got it. Still not been there yet. So many places, never enough time. Yeah, I'm sure you're right, Paul. It's a nice place. You'll get there eventually. I'm sure you will. Somerset Man Walking, said our Darren. Said, I'm so glad your camera survived the drop test. You mentioned at the start, no, it's knowing where to look. Such a great walk with plenty of old lines still to see. Yeah, well, the drop test. I managed to fumble the camera and drop it onto the tarmac road, and of course the screen was blank when I picked it up. Switched it on and off a few times, nothing. I thought, oh, that's the end of that camera. And then just as a last afterthought, I took the battery out, put it back in again, and away it went. And they're filming on it now. Amazing. Oh, Jim. Oh. It's alright, I'm just catching up here. Find out where we are. Excuse me. Pete Payne. Another fine production, he says. I thought the Ward footpath was interesting with the arches over it. Were they bridges or just decorative, or were they holding the walls back, I suppose? Could have been any one of those three. Anybody got any ideas? I'll do some research, folks. Malcolm. Very interested and enjoyable walk, he says. As you say, so much effort and expertise went into the making of this line. What remains are a reminder of what once was. But the beautiful countryside through which it passes is also there for us to appreciate and enjoy. What is remarkable is that an almost seamless statement of the brickwork of the massive retaining walls, especially along that driveway. What a statement. Yet in its day, nothing unremarkable, I guess. Yeah, well and blood. Yeah, all that effort, work and effort. We keep saying it, don't we? Ought to be held as monuments, really, rather than just left to fade away. Yeah, well. Abandoned railways. Iran. Another excellent explorer of the old Midland South Western Junction Railway at Withington. I have attempted to gain access from the Chedworth end, but couldn't make much progress due to a large fallen tree. Now if you follow Ron's channel, you'll know it takes a lot to stop him from going through. And I would give up miles before Ron does. He tends to keep going, so if he's had a tree stop him, it must have been a blooming big tree, I would think, to stop our Ron. Yeah, well, Michael, all the way from lovely Poland. What a wonderful walk. The original video came out in March 2018. Did it really? Try. I wonder how things have changed if we revisited this walk today. Yeah, well, I suppose it went a long time before the film was made, and without changing too much, or did it? No, of course it changed quite a bit, didn't it? Once you got the running period of its life, and then the wait to see what's going on period of its life, and then the raising of the tracks. Yeah, it is still changing well, isn't it? Lionel and Mary Travels. Oh dear, we've been in the wars. On Wednesday I managed to fall forward onto a tarmac road. 2 badly scraped and bruised knees and an almighty black eye. Not a pretty sight, he says. And 2 weeks ago Mary did the same thing, this time in Amesbury. To this day we don't know what she tripped over, but that must be our share of mishaps for the summer, hopefully. Crikey me, that's the trouble with us old folks, you know, we do lose confidence in our balance and we don't know where we're going. But anyway, get better, you two. At least you can share each other's grief, I suppose. Right, Charles, New Jersey, USA. Always enjoy your adventures out in the woods, he says. And this one had a touch of deja vu. I love wrapping up your journey at the public house. You still look quite comfortable. Yeah, well, I think once you finish walking, you sit down. Oh, doesn't matter what you sit on. Got to take the weight off. Trev. Oh, Trev, really enjoyed the film, he said. It brought about such an air of peace and relaxation. Oh, we've been through that, haven't we? Yeah. Well done. Marilyn, enjoyed Withington. Enjoyed looking back and going over some of her Withington memories. Great stuff. For her railway treat this last week, she went to the Grand Central Station, or Grand Central Heritage Railway. There's 2 changes and a taxi ride. Crikey me, it takes a lot to stop Marilyn, doesn't it? 2 changes and a taxi ride. Wonderful. But she likes the Heritage Railway. It's the only 2-track of any distance heritage railway in the country. So of course it's no doubt there's lots of requests for filming there. I would think yes. Right now, David, let's go clear us up now. Dave from Cornwall. It must have been a challenge to build that with all the cuttings and the embankments, as always. Yes, but he says an unusual one. Spare a thought for the horses. He said thousands of horses were used by the railways to not only in construction but in shunting operations around the station. Rather than get a steam train out and fire it up and goodness knows what, just hitch the old horse up, drag the stuff around. Brilliant. The last horse-drawn shunting operation got there was at Hale down in Cornwall in 1964. So you think that's finished with a long time ago, in 1964. I suppose it is a long time ago, wouldn't it? Yeah. Sorry about that. Yes, right, now we're getting ready in a few seconds time for this week's film, which is we're doing a few walks now. It's in that sort of weather, isn't it? And we're going to Winchcombe, just outside Cheltenham. A pleasant little walk around there, and there's a castle there, Sudley Castle. And talking of castles, next week we're going to Raglan, and our visit to the old Raglan Castle down there, and actually seeing an enactment. Oh, brilliant, exciting stuff. I'll see you down there, don't be late. Stop the presses. I've just heard from James. He's still very sad for his loss, as you probably understand, but he's back in touch, which is great news. Good old James, we're all missing you. So, another river walk in Winchcombe, a nightly spot. And we're going to start off here in town, wander through town to here, where the main road crosses the river Isbourne, which is the subject of our walk. Then we're going to turn, go through the fields. I'm not quite sure what we'll see of the river, but we should get some views of Winchcombe with a bit of luck. Going to wander out then to here, where we're going to leave the river, head for Sudley Castle, have a look around the general area, then cross the river once more back into town. Winchcombe. Strange start to a river walk, isn't it really? Our first view. It's kind of a tamed river, I suppose. The River Isbourne. And we're going to follow this now out towards the castle. Winchcombe. There it is. One of those. Well, as a river walk you'd have to say it's a bit thin. Soon we have to cross it again to get back into Winchcombe, assuming it hasn't been tubed. We will see. The famed Sudley Castle, I don't think much of it. I suppose it has a certain charm. Ah, actually that might be it. Could do a lick of paint here and there, there's no roof on it. Well, a bridge, we might have found our river again. Ooh, that looks impressive. I think there might be a weir involved here somewhere, or a dam. Just the town outskirts and a leafy run back into town. Actually, I think we were cheated back there because I think this is our river. Yeah, looks about right. Flowing in the right direction. Oh, pleasant. And that's it, full circle, back into town.